Congressman Greg Lopez. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
And thank you for having me this afternoon, Lydia.
So, Congressman, Democrats, in some media outlets, they keep downplaying what's happening in Aurora. That viral video that we've showed of the gang members with the giant guns and this and that, banging on apartment doors with the machete. Correct me if I'm wrong. This was the tipping point, right? Because things have been escalating there for quite some time. Correct, sir?
That's correct. Look, let's be clear. The reason Aurora is having a problem that it's having is because of the border. It's because President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris has opened the border, that put up the welcome mats, and now we have prison gangs that are actually coming in our communities. It's happening in Denver. It's happening in Aurora. And this is the type of crime that comes when not only does the president and vice president open the borders, but you have a governor that calls Colorado a sanctuary state, and you have a mayor in Denver that calls it a sanctuary city. And this is what happens when you bring those types of individuals into our nation.
Right. And Aurora is 600 miles away from the border. So it's a perfect example that every state, every city is a border state, and Denver is a sanctuary city. And cops aren't even allowed to ask when they arrest people, their immigration status. That's why we don't even have real statistics, but we have a lot of evidence from people on the ground there. Now, Congressman, I want to pivot to Springfield, Ohio. Now everyone's talking about that. Yesterday, President Trump said this at his presser in California. Take a listen, sir.
In Springfield, Ohio, 20,000 illegal Haitian migrants have descended upon a town of 58,000 people, destroying their way of life. They've destroyed the place. And people don't like to talk about it, because even the town doesn't like to talk about it because it sounds so bad for the town.
Kamala Harris laughs it off, denied it pretty much at the debate. But remember, when the rich Democrats, they lost their minds when 49 migrants, when Governor Greg Abbott shipped them to Martha's, no, was it Abbott or was it DeSantis, right? Shipped them to Martha's Vineyard. It was just 50 of them on a bus. They lost their minds. They shipped them back out a day later. So what do you think, Congressman? What is it doing to so many? You look at the communities, right, where the illegal aliens are being sent to. They're being sent to disenfranchised communities, people that can't afford lawyers, people that can't afford to get these people, ship them back out. So if they want an open border, why not send the illegals to Martha's Vineyard? They can stop by Barack's and Michelle's place. They can go to the Hamptons and go to Beverly Hills.
Look, we all know that we're being invaded. Look, our nation is being invaded because of their poor border policies. And so what they're doing, you're right, they're sending these individuals to poor communities, to small communities where they can overcome that environment, where they can overwhelm and create chaos and create uncertainty and create that anxiety that every community is going through right now. And like you said earlier, every state is a border state. Every community is feeling and experiencing the mass illegal immigration that's coming into our nation. People see it in the streets. They see it in the neighborhoods. They see it in the grocery stores. They see it all over the place. And it's time that we close the border. It's time that we take these prison gang members, which I consider to be like wild dogs. They take over our territory. They breed. They spread. It's like a cancer. It's time for us to take them, pick them up, and deport them. Send them back to Venezuela. We must close the border, and everything that's happening in our country right now as it pertains to illegal immigration falls on the shoulders of President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Congressman, we have 30 seconds left. I think President Trump, he should come out and say, I love immigrants. Clearly he does. Melania is an immigrant. I'm a child of immigrants. I didn't speak English until I was 5 years old. I'm sure you have an immigration story because I don't think you're Native American. So we need immigrants. So what do you say to people that say you don't want Haitians and you don't want Venezuelans in your community because you're a racist? What do you say to people like that?
Here's what I tell them. Say, you came to America because you believe in our nation. You believe in our Constitution. You believe in that American dream. And the only way we're going to maintain that is if we have people that follow the rule of law. We want them to come in legally. We want them to come in correctly. We want to keep our community safe. So for those of you that are thinking that we are not liking immigrants, we just want you to know that, look, we just want them to come in the right way. We embrace them. This is something, like you said earlier, I'm third generation. My family came from Mexico. I fully understand the importance of allowing people to come in, but we need people to come in and want to assimilate. They want to be part of our community. They don't want to bring in their traditions and overwhelm us. And this is what I will tell people is that, first of all, we must, first of all, protect our borders because we are being invaded by a lot of different individuals that are not looking to be proactive or productive in our communities. So let's protect the most vulnerable. Let's protect our borders. Let's make sure that we don't bring in drug addicts, that we don't bring people that are trying to undermine our communities. That's what America is all about.
And where are those over 300,000 migrant children that have gone missing? I wish Kamala would have been asked that question at the debate. Congressman Greg Lopez, thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Up next.